Hi guys, today I'm finally getting around to doing my super late March wrap-up. In the month of March I read 7 books, which I think is pretty good. I feel like 5 is like a decent average number, so anything more than that is even better. So anyways, without further ado, here are the books that I read in the month of March. So the first book that I read in the month of March is Crown of Midnight, and this book is the second book in the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. This is a super popular series on BookTube, and I love this sequel a lot. I feel like usually I like sequels less than the first book, because usually like the first book in a series is amazing, and then as you like keep going down, the books get worse and worse. But in my opinion, I feel like the sequel was way better than the first one, even though the first one was amazing too. But I just enjoy this so much more, and this is making me super excited for Heir of Fire, which comes out later this year. And I just thought this book had a really good ending, like it left out at a good place. And I just love the characters so much. So obviously, since I love this series so much, it's like one of my favorite series now. I recommend everyone to go read it if they haven't already yet. And I would give this a 5 out of 5 stars. Next is Half Bad by Sally Green, and this is another book that was super hyped up on BookTube, and I believe this came out the first week of March. I may be wrong, but anyways, if you don't know what this is about a boy who is half bad, half good, because he's half Black Witch and half White Witch, and his father happens to be the most powerful Black Witch. And of course, all the White Witches are after him, after his father. So they use him to try to get his father to come and so they can trap him and kill him and stuff. So at first, I was a little put off by the writing style because it's written in second person, not for the whole book, but at least for the beginning part. And so I definitely wasn't used to that. But I felt like it picked up, the plot picked up, after a little less than a third of the book, things started getting really interesting, so I was really engaged throughout the book. And so overall, I would give this a 4.5 out of 5 stars, so I'm excited for the next book. So I finally got around to reading these 2 books that have been on my shelves for 2 months, and they are the Archive, which one's which? The Archives and The Unbound, both by Victoria Schwab. As you can tell, they're part of the same series. And as you can tell, wow, I just said as you can tell twice in a row. Anyways, these are super popular, hyped up books on BookTube, and I feel like this is a trend with me. I feel like 99% of the books I read are all super hyped up books, but that's because they're good, and so that's why I read them. But anyways, moving on. I didn't really know much about this going into the book. I just knew it was about this girl and it has to do dead people and stuff, so kind of paranormal mystery-ish. And Jesse the Reader talks about it all the time, and he loves the series. And I really enjoy the series overall as well too. I think there's a 3rd book maybe coming out. I don't really know. But I really enjoyed these 2 books. I thought they had a lot of action and they were very gripping, throughout the book. So I'd give these 2 books both, I feel 4.25 out of 5 stars. And I don't think that's a rating, but I'm just going to give them that anyways because, yeah, I'm just thinking between 4 and 4.5 stars. So yeah, these are both really enjoyable. So if you're into these type of paranormal / mystery-ish books, then I definitely recommend it. And yeah. The next book was one of my most anticipated reads for March, and that is Maybe Someday by Colleen Hoover. And a lot of people have talked about this, so I was super excited to get this. And this is, I read both the Slam series and Losing Hope by Colleen Hoover, and I loved both of them. So when I read this, I knew I was gonna like it already. I don't know if you guys judge the books. If you like an author and she comes out with a new book, then you're like, oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna love this, even though you haven't read it at all. But that's how it was with me for this book, and I really enjoyed this book. I thought at some points, I don't know, I feel like Colleen Hoover's writing can sometimes be a little over the top, but in a good way, because that's what we like. I don't know who I'm talking about, but what I like, even though it's over the top and kind of ridiculous sometimes, you'd be like, this would never happen in real life, but it's just still really nice because it's super, I don't know how to say, engaging and just super romantic-ish, over the top romantic, which is just always nice to read about. But yeah, I thought this book was really sweet and sad at some parts. Obviously, if you've already read the book, you know what I'm talking about. But again, I'd give this book 5 out of 5 stars, and I recommend everyone to go check this book out. The next book that I read was White Hot Kiss by Jennifer L. Armentrout, and this is the first book in a new series by her, the Dark Elements series, and I was pleasantly surprised by this. I mean, I read the Lux series by her, and the other series, I forgot what it's called, but I'll enter the name after this when I look it up. But I enjoyed both of the series, so again, it's kind of the same thing with Maybe Someday with, by Colleen Hoover. I just knew I loved her writing, so I was like, oh, this is probably going to be really good too. And so I decided to pick this up, and I really enjoyed it. It's a paranormal romance book, but judging by the cover, you would probably think, I mean, I thought it at first, just by looking at the cover, it was like a cheesy romantic adult contemporary type of books. I've definitely read a lot of those and I love them, but I thought it was like another one of those. But it's a paranormal romance, and it's about this girl named Layla who's half demon and half gargoyle. And obviously the demon is like the bad guys, and the gargoyles, they're like called guards, and they're the ones who hunt down the demons. But Layla's half and half, so she struggles between her two identities throughout the book. And then she also, one thing, because she's half demon, she can't kiss people, otherwise she'll kill them because she'll suck out their souls. So that's like a hardship for her, obviously, that she has to deal with her whole life. But then comes along a stranger, not really, a demon, and at first she's like super wary of him, and she doesn't trust him, obviously, because he's a demon, so she's, you know, she thinks that all demons are bad, blah, blah, blah. But through a series of incidents, they like slowly form a relationship, and lots of stuff happens. And so I thought this book was really enjoyable, so I give it a 4.5 out of 5 stars. So if you like these type of paranormal romance books, then you should definitely check this out. And the last book that I read was Unraveled by Collier Reid, and I discovered this like randomly on Goodreads when I was browsing books, and this is like unlike my other books. This is not a super hyped up book. Like, I don't think I've heard anyone talk about this yet. So this sounded really intriguing. It didn't give an actual summary, but it just gave like lines from the book and as a summary, and it sounded really interesting, so I decided to pick it up. And this is about a girl who is who's in this like mental institution, which kind of reminds me of Mara Dyer, by the way, Becoming a Mara Dyer, if you've read the series. But so yeah, and so she basically, the book like switches between flashbacks and like the present, and so at the very beginning I was like super confused as like what is going on, like what is this girl's deal, you know? But obviously as you read more flashbacks, you slowly start to get kind of like her background and how she landed in that mental institution. And let me say, the ending, like towards the ending, I was like, oh my god, I did not expect this. Like, maybe it's just me. Sometimes I'm really like, what do you call it? Like, not very intuitive, I guess that's the word. But sometimes I don't realize things in like books or movies, or you know, like just things in general, until like it's like super obvious. But so this was the case with me for this, and I was really pleasantly surprised by the ending. And I would give this like a 4.5 out of 5 stars. And it's like one of those, I don't know how you would categorize this book, because it's like not paranormal, it's not dystopian, it's just, I have no idea how to categorize this book in what genre. But I think you should definitely check this out. It's kind of like, it's a little bit creepy-ish slash psychological, if that makes sense. So if this sounds interesting, I didn't give a good summary or whatever of this book, but if this sounds interesting to you at all, I definitely recommend you to check this out. So those are all the books that I read in the month of March. Hopefully this video gave you some ideas on what you might want to read next. Let me know in the comments down below what you read in March or what you're reading right now. And that's about it for now, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.